Ever feel like job hunting is, well, kind of like trying to solve a puzzle,
Mm.
especially with all this talk about AI making the decisions,
Yeah, it's definitely not as simple as it used to be.
right? So today, we're diving deep into how to land a job as a boring machine operator. We've got role catchers guides for this one.
Oh, those are great. They really break down the whole
You
process.
really do.
Yeah.
So first things first, what does a boring machine operator even do all
Yeah.
day? I mean, besides the obvious, like, boring holes.
Well, think of it like this. It's all about precision.
Precision, okay.
Yeah, these operators are working with incredibly tight tolerances, specialized tools, the whole 9 yards.
So not just any hole will do, it's got to be perfect.
Exactly. Think about it. Aerospace components, car parts, anything that requires those parts to fit together, seamlessly.
Right, right. No pressure or anything.
Chuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure.
Yeah. Speaking of pressure, let's talk about the interview. RoleCatcher had this question. Can you tell us about your experience working with laser marking machines?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you just start listing off every machine you've ever touched?
It's tempting to go down that road, but honestly, it's more about quality over quantity.
Okay, less is more in this case.
Think about it like this. Instead of listing every machine, focus on the ones that are most relevant to the job you're applying for. The ones they specifically mentioned in the job description.
Huh. So do your research, tailor your answer. Gotcha.
Yeah, and don't just say, I've used this machine, go deeper.
Deeper. Okay, how do we do that?
Talk about specific projects where you use that machine, challenges you faced, maybe you had to troubleshoot something or find a creative solution.
So it's about showcasing your problem-solving skills, not just your ability to turn a machine on or off.
Right. Show them that you can think on your feet.
And it sounds like RoleCatcher actually has a tool that can help you practice those answers, right? With AI feedback and everything.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? You can actually record yourself answering interview questions, and the AI will analyze your delivery.
Whoa, that's like having a personal coach in your pocket.
It's the future of job hunting right here.
Okay, I'm definitely checking that out. So next question on RoleCatcher's list. How do you ensure the quality of laser markings? That one sounds a little tricky.
It's all about showcasing your process.
Okay, so walk me through it. What kind of things would you want to highlight?
Well, for example, do you have a system for double-checking your work? Do you use any specific tools or techniques to verify the accuracy of the markings?
Right, like measuring tools, visual inspections, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And if you have any relevant certifications, like quality control certifications or anything like that,
Oh yeah, definitely mention those.
it shows them you're serious about your craft.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, this next question from RoleCatcher is super important, especially in a field like this. Can you explain your knowledge of laser safety protocols?
Yeah, safety is non-negotiable.
Absolutely. So how do you talk about that in an interview without sounding like you're just reciting a list of rules?
Well, first of all, make sure you actually know the protocols inside and out.
Of course, do your homework.
Right. And then, instead of just saying, I wear safety glasses, go a little deeper.
Okay, so what kind of things would you talk about?
Well, talk about beam control measures, emergency shutdown procedures, specific protocols for different types of lasers or materials.
Right, so you're demonstrating a deeper understanding of the why behind the what, not just checking boxes.
Gotcha. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about showing them that you live and breathe safety, that it's ingrained in everything you do.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, this next question from RoleCatcher is interesting. Can you describe your ability to interpret technical drawings and specifications? I imagine that's pretty important in this line of work.
Oh, absolutely. This is where you show them you're not just a button pusher.
Right, you understand the bigger picture.
Exactly. You know how to read those drawings, understand the symbols, the tolerances. You can visualize the final product.
And probably troubleshoot if something doesn't look quite right.
Exactly. Which brings us to another great question from RoleCatcher.
Hit me.
Can you describe your troubleshooting skills when encountering issues with the laser marking machine?
Ah, so they want to know you can handle it when things go wrong, which, let's be real, happens sometimes.
It's gonna happen.
Well,
So this is your chance to shine as a problem solver.
Okay, how do we do that? What are they looking for here?
Well, do you have a system you follow when you encounter a problem?
So not just randomly pressing buttons until something works.
Chuckles. No, definitely not. Talk about how you diagnose the issue, what steps you take to isolate the problem, the whole process.
And it's okay to say you'd ask for help if you needed it, right?
Of course, it's more about showing them you have a thought process, that you're not afraid to tackle challenges head on.
Right, it's about being resourceful. Okay, I'm liking this. What else does RoleCatcher have for us?
All right, let's talk software. One of the questions they have is, can you explain your experience with laser marking software?
Okay, that one seems pretty straightforward. You
Well,
just tell them what you know, right?
Well, yes and no. It's great if you have experience with a wide range of software.
Sure, the more the merrier, right.
But again, tailor your answer to the job description. If they mention specific software, highlight your expertise in those areas.
So it's about showing them you've got the skills they're looking for.
Exactly. And maybe even using RoleCatcher's AI tools to get feedback on how you're presenting those skills in your answers.
Right. That AI feedback is a game changer. I'm telling you, RoleCatcher is full of surprises.
It really is. And we've only just scratched the surface.
I know, right? This is a lot to digest.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick pause and come back to tackle even more of these insightful interview questions.
You know, it's amazing how much the job hunting landscape has changed even in the last few years.
It really is. Like, who knew AI would be playing such a big role?
Right. It's crazy. But hey, speaking of AI, we were diving into RoleCatcher's interview guide for boring machine operators.
Oh, yeah. Those questions were seriously insightful.
Totally. And they had this one question that really got me thinking. It was something like, can you describe your experience with laser marking on different materials?
Oh, I remember that one. Because it's not like it's a one-size-fits-all situation, right?
Yeah.
You've got your metals, your plastics, your woods. Those probably all behave differently under a laser.
They totally do. I mean, different materials have different properties, and that obviously affects how the laser interacts with them. This question is really trying to gauge your versatility, Like, have you actually had to adjust laser settings before based on the material?
So like power levels, focusing, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Or maybe even the type of laser you'd use. This is where you can really showcase your adaptability and your problem-solving skills.
Because it's one thing to say, yep, I've worked with that, but it's way more impressive if you can actually describe like a specific time when you had to get creative because the material wasn't playing nice.
100%. That's how you make your experience come alive for them. Talk about the challenges you faced, how you overcame them. Did you have to experiment to find the perfect settings for a new material? Share that.
Don't hold back. Let those problem-solving skills shine.
Exactly. Okay, ready for another one?
Hit me.
Can you explain your experience with maintenance and upkeep of laser marking machines?
Oh. Okay, that makes sense. A well-maintained machine is a happy machine, and a happy machine means less downtime and more productivity.
Right. You got it. Employers want to see that you take pride in your equipment, that you're not just going to run it into the ground and then shrug your shoulders when it breaks.
So it's about being proactive.
Totally. It shows them you're thinking ahead, you're preventing problems before they even arise.
So routine maintenance, cleaning, lubrication, we're talking about that kind of stuff.
All of that. Describe the procedures you follow, how often you perform them. Have you ever spotted a potential issue during your regular checkups and prevented something major from happening? Talk about it.
Ooh, yeah, that's good. Talk about going above and beyond.
Right. Okay, ready for a bit of a curveball.
Always. Lay it on me.
Can you describe your experience with training and coaching other laser marking machine operators?
Okay. Interesting. So this is about more than just the technical stuff now, isn't it? This is about leadership, communication, maybe even a bit of mentorship.
Bingo. They want to see if you can share your knowledge effectively, guide others. Even if you haven't formally trained someone, have you ever helped a colleague troubleshoot a problem or walk them through a tricky procedure?
So even just being a helpful teammate counts.
Absolutely. It all contributes to a positive and productive work environment.
Okay, I like that. It's about being a team player.
Exactly. Highlight those soft skills. They're more important than you think. All right, one more from RoleCatcher's list.
Okay, let's hear it.
Can you describe your experience with integrating laser marking machines into production lines?
Ooh, that sounds intense. Like high-level stuff.
It can be, especially when you're talking about large-scale manufacturing. This one's really testing your understanding of the big picture. How do all the pieces of the production puzzle fit together?
So it's not enough to just know how to operate the laser marker. You need to understand its role in the entire production flow.
Exactly. Have you ever been involved in setting up a new production line or optimizing an existing one? Did you encounter any roadblocks trying to make sure the laser marking stage meshed well with everything else?
Because a bottleneck at any stage can really throw a wrench in the works.
100%. You got to be able to anticipate those problems and come up with solutions.
So what you're saying is, even though this job involves operating a machine, It's really about so much more than that.
You got it.
Okay.
It's about problem solving, critical thinking, communication. It's about understanding the bigger picture.
And those skills are valuable no matter what industry you're in. Which reminds me, we haven't even talked about RoleCatcher's career guides.
Yeah.
They're not just about nailing the interview, they actually give you insights into different career paths and industries.
I know, right? It's like having a crystal ball for your career. They have all this info on different job roles, salary expectations, even company reviews. It's amazing.
It really is amazing how much information is packed into those RoleCatcher guides.
Right. Like we were saying, they don't just throw some interview questions at you and call it a day.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's like they've thought of everything a boring machine operator hopeful would need to know.
And not just the technical stuff either, which is important, obviously, but also those all-important soft skills.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Communication, problem solving, teamwork.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We really have. And, even though we've been laser focused on boring machine operators, I think a lot of these insights apply to any job seeker.
Totally. No matter what field you're in, being able to articulate your skills, your process, your problem-solving abilities,
Yeah.
those are things every employer is looking for.
Exactly. And that's what I love about RoleCatcher. They give you the tools to really showcase those skills, like that AI feedback thing. Genius.
Seriously. It's like having a personal career coach available 24/7.
Right. It's like they've got your back every step of the way. From crafting the perfect resume to acing that interview to building your network.
So, for anyone out there feeling a little lost in the job search maze, do yourself a favor and check out RoleCatcher.
You won't regret it. It's like having a secret weapon in your arsenal.
And on that note, we're going to wrap things up for today. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of boring machine operators and the amazing resources out there to help you succeed.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep reaching for those career goals.